Thank you for tuning in to Koppen with Comic. I'm Brian Koppen, and we're here with comic Molly Densmore. Molly Densmore, how the hell are you?
Good.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And I follow you online. It's hilarious because your name is Molly Densmore, but we find you on social at Dolly Densmore.
Yes,
Yes, and you also have mollydensmore.com.
I do.
And you were just you're making us laugh during the quarantine. Are you publishing comedy videos?
Yeah, I'm gonna unpin myself because it's distracting. Yeah, I've been making some sketches. I did some pre-recorded sets, which were kind of fun and weird, just because there's no laughter, but you can cut it together however you want.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been doing some Zoom things. No live shows yet, but yes, I'm still trying to put out some silliness on the interwebs.
On the interwebs, I love the interwebs. I think D'Antwoord, the South African rap couple, they always see the interwebs. And so you have yet to do park shows and rooftop shows?
Yeah, well, I'm staying with family on Long Island right now.
Okay.
I'm from Woodstock, but I'm staying with my stepdad and my mom and my step siblings on Long Island. And I'm actually going to be moving out of my apartment in Brooklyn and then just staying here and then moving to LA eventually. That's the plan.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I just haven't been. I think if I was staying in Brooklyn, I'd be more down to do some live stuff, but it's like the whole getting there and everything, it just doesn't seem worth it to I don't know, just do a show to some muffled laughs in a park. I don't know if I wanted to with face masks. I don't know, but some of them seem amazing. So
yeah. I mean, it's like they're partitioning up Central Park to be 10 different comedy clubs. But yeah, you're going out to LA, and I think you're a comedic actress, and so is that just more opportunity for you out there?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, honestly, it's something I was thinking about before this all went down, and then I was like, let's stay in New York, and stuff started getting pretty good, and then this happened. So it was kind of like a shove in that direction. It was kind of, I think if I don't try it, I'll regret it. So if I hate it, I'll go back. But
yeah, even I was thinking about going out there recently. I was like, dude, I could, I think I was moving into a new apartment, and I was like, I was looking on, Craigslist listings for apartment shares and things like that, and there wasn't as many. I'm in Astoria, Queens, and it was just a buyer's market. Everybody was moving out. There was tons of fucking apartments in Astoria, Queens. And then I looked out there in LA, and I'm like, here's the neighborhoods I want. And there was not as many open apartments. And so it was just I decided against it. But it's cool you're going out there. And because I see here on Dolly Densmore on Instagram that you have a rubber face.
I do have a rubber face, which I don't know if you're allowed to have in LA. But I would assume it's like Botox. I would think it's the opposite. I don't know. I am afraid I'm going to be 33 by the time I move there. And I'm kind of I don't know what they do to 33-year-old women. I move out there in pursuit of entertainment, but I assume they put you in a box and ship you off to Guam. I don't know if I'll be allowed in.
I don't know what they do to 33-year-olds in LA. That's so funny.
I mean, I've been told I look young, but if I keep doing the rubber face, who knows what will happen.
My Lord, yeah, so rubber face that you have stretch marks on your face. It's like, dude, I did too much comedy acting out in Brooklyn. I got fucked up.
I know. I really, well, yeah, this is a listening medium, so I guess I can't show you.
Yeah, now you're going to have to put everything in the words, yeah. Right now I'm doing a rubber face.
I mean, you can see me, right?
I don't know that yeah, there I can see. Do a rubber face.
I guess you can describe to them.
Yeah, we'll describe it. She's going to do a rubber face. There you go. It's going to freeze like that. She looks 33, but she's doing rubber face. Look at her. Oh my Lord.
Now I think I pulled something. How dare you say I look 33? I don't get it.
Yeah. So you said you're 33, right?
No, I'm gonna be 33 by the
time. I go, you said you're 33. It's like, no, I'm going to be. I'm 32.
Gonna be.
But she looks like I'd say you look like you're about 22.
Oh my God. Stop it.
Oh my God, stop it. Well, we're going to look on this Instagram because you're just fucking, you're doing your rubber face here in these videos. And I think what we're going to talk about today is I think rubber face could be beneficial in even the polyamory market because that's one of our topics. And I'm seeing a lot of that on Tinder, couples looking for a third or, ethically polyamorous, or what is it called? Ethically non-monogamous?
Whenever I see ethically polyamorous on a dating app, I always think it says ethnically polyamorous.
I like all ethnicities. I'm not racist.
I know, like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious.
And
I
so,
don't.
have you done polyamory stuff? Are you currently in it, or without prying, um, I guess there's benefits to it, of course, but I would think that some people might be like, it defeats the purpose of having a loving, committed relationship.
Oh man. Well, I don't know how the rubber face is going to help me with polyamory, but I think it's, well, I can get to that later. You can help with that. I'll try it out and get back to you. No, it's just been something I've been thinking about lately, and honestly, not even really in a positive light, because I've been writing material about it, and it's been pissing me off. So,
Really? I love that.
so
Why? And yeah, why would it piss you off? I love that.
oh man, well, I don't really identify as poly. I kind of, I have a lot of friends who are, and I've never been in what I would call a poly relationship. Like I've never had a boyfriend and we've been poly, but I've like I like had a guy I was talking to for a while who I'm no longer talking to. Poly. And yeah, I know I have friends who are married who are poly. I have friends who are, betrothed. I have friends who live together who are, and I think I usually like poly people, even though there are shitty people of all kinds. Like I don't want to act like they're all one thing, but usually
Yeah, once you go poly, you stop being an asshole.
yeah, no, they're definitely assholes, which is kind of what I'm talking about, like what I'm trying to write about right now. Like it's kind of like there's just so many flower crowns and man buns, and it makes me want to throw up. I can't. Oh, anyway, but no offense if you're a listener and you're wearing a flower crown and a man bun right now. No offense, but maybe don't do that. And also, if you have a handlebar mustache, maybe stop. Maybe stop looking like a train conductor from 1901. Like maybe together. So anyway,
She's obviously been writing material on this. She just did a run there.
so like, but they did tend to be like more open-minded and kind of just chill and kind of yeah, I like it philosophically, and I think that if I'm at the point now that if I were in a secure relationship and I felt secure, and then we after a while wanted to discuss non-monogamy, I would be open to it, but I don't want to like join any couples. Like that's kind of where I am right now with it.
And so, like, what do you get out of a committed relationship with one person, and is that defeated by the benefits of, kind of go even when you're secure, going out there and each dating your own people?
I don't know. I think it's a case by case basis, but I think the idea of it is like love isn't finite. And I know poly people who think that it's better. I don't think it's better than monogamy. I think it's just different. And I just hate like lying, and I don't know if it's like realistic to ever want to have sex with other people again. So it's kind of one of those things like, let's at least just be honest. And I do agree with the love not being finite thing. I think it gets more complicated when you like if there's like a family or kids involved or
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely tricky.
I love it. She's like, I hate lying. And so what immediately came to mind is you can't remain faithful. But what you're saying is be honest about wanting to have sex with other people.
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was talking to Eileen Hanley about something like this, and
Okay.
oh yeah, so I think she moved out to Maine or whatever, and she was saying something, and of course she's still doing her comedy. The recent comedy video of hers was great about wearing pants and how wearing pants can solve depression. But she was talking about how she's honest with her boyfriend that she gets like attracted to like everybody she comes into contact with, and she'll tell her other. And I thought that was so cool. I was like, dude, I would be so annoyed if my girlfriend said that once, let alone like 10 times. Like, oh, the delivery man was hot, Like I really just fell in love with the boy I talked to online. It's like, dude, why are you telling me this? I'm insecure now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, insecure. I'd be lying if I said that my last two relationships didn't influence my opinion now, which is also because I dated one guy who was super controlling and jealous, which I'll never do again, and another guy who lied. So I was kind of like, well, but yeah, I definitely think it's possible to be monogamous and be, not controlling and tell the truth. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't identify as poly. It's just, I like it philosophically. I have a lot of poly friends for some reason. I'm from Woodstock, so maybe I just gravitate toward people like that. I don't know.
Dude, I love that. And so like you have yet to, I just love the last people. Like one guy was controlling and one guy was a liar. So let's get with people who know they can't control it and I don't have to lie to and they don't have to lie to me because we're just going to be going outside the relationship to get certain things. And I mean, I guess I think Eileen Hanley said something like that where it's like we have to admit that one person might not meet every need or something like that. And why should they? Like no person is
Right.
superhuman. So
Exactly.
but like, what do you think that you get out of a committed relationship, and will you still get out of that the same thing if you guys are going? I mean, because you talked about a finite amount of love, but what about time and things like that? Like sharing your time among two dudes or a dude and a girl or whatever.
I think that's the trickiest part because I talk to some people who I can't, like, even though I'm from Woodstock and probably am gravitate toward people like that, I also have an aversion to it. So when people, like the guy who I was kind of seeing who is poly, and then like I felt like just kept switching. He was like, "Oh, I want a primary partner who is like your main person," and then he was like, "But he had one, and but he just didn't call her that." But I'm like, if you hang out with her every day
Yeah,
and you're like spending all of your time with her and you're like barely talking to other, it's kind of like false advertising.
yeah.
And he called, this is so, he was like, we're relationship anarchists, which he decided he was later, like a year after I knew him. And he's like, there's no hierarchy. And I'm like, that's bullshit, dude, because the only way for there to not be hierarchy is if you give everybody total equal time. And that's
Yeah.
really hard to do. So I think there's a way to do it morally. I just think you have to be upfront and like, I don't know, everybody's different. Like if you want to do the relationship anarchy thing, that's great. But some of it would make me laugh because he's like, oh, you can have relationships with people who like you don't have sex with and you love each other. I was like a friend? Like you can have friends. You know, like
I'll let you have a friend. That
well,
won't interfere with our relationship.
which I mean, I know you can be like more romantic, but still, like some of it would just be, it's just all these fucking terms for stuff. And I'm like, you can just like have a girlfriend and then have people you care about, but you don't see as much and you're honest with, and then have friends. Like, you
I
know,
love how douchey that dude sounded with the dude relationship anarchy, man.
such a douche.
Like how ridiculous is that? Like outside the context of the sex positivity thing with, polyamorous and even people on here when they'll say, oh, your other, your significant other, not to shame people that have more than one, poly's fine. Like I don't want to poly shame. I'm like, dude, you are so sensitive. Like at what point did poly get so, just what the fuck is it called? Everywhere all at once, that ubiquitous. How did poly get so ubiquitous that something like relationship anarchy wouldn't make Molly Densmore laugh her ass off?
It did. I was just like,
Yeah.
full of shit. I don't know. Two of my really good friends are poly and they're engaged and they're definitely not perfect and they've upset people and whatever, but they have a clear, like, I think when you're going into something like that, you have a clear idea of what it is. Like they live together, they're engaged, like you can only, like I guess it depends on the kind of person you are and if you know for sure you never want to get married and have kids, and like you can have a future and it can be great, but you won't know, it can only go so far. And I think so that's why I think rules and certain things like that are important for most people. But yeah, if you're just kind of like, oh, just everybody's everything and there are like all these weird terms for every, like, I don't know, I don't even know if I'm making sense.
Yeah. No, I love that. Like we've all just kind of identified everything down, and the fact that he said relationship anarchy is just fucking hilarious. And as a final question, I'm going to take a couple of our topics and put it together, which is polyamory consistent with the vibe of the 1920s? And I want you to answer this question as Britney Spears.
Oh, but her voice changed. I can do her like singing voice.
There you go, sing it. But you have to come up. I can't believe you just started it.
That's the warm up.
All right. Well, do you even have do you have the answer? Because it's a tough question. So is polyamory consistent with the Roaring '20s? I suppose it would be.
The 20s were crazy. Okay, she used to kind of talk like this, and she was like, okay, and now she's like kind of, I'll do like Britney.
I'm fine with the singing. The singing was hilarious. The 20s were crazy.
People were fucking, yeah. And people were doing the Justin all over each other's genital, yeah.
I could picture that too. The Charleston, I remember that from the It's a Wonderful Life, and you did that little squatting thing. So I could picture doing it over genitalia. That is so fucking funny, and we can't wait to see her do this out in Los Angeles now. And so Molly Densmore, we're gonna fucking track your mollydensmore.com, but also Dolly Mensmore everywhere social where hilarious content can be found.
Yes, thank you. I got a Twitter 2 months ago because I was like, I went on TikTok and I tried to understand it, and it just made me want to have a nervous breakdown. So I was like, I'm on it technically, but I was like, I'm gonna do Twitter instead because I'm old.
Yeah, she's 32. She's not yet 33, so don't tell her that.
It was just like 12-year-olds and loud colors. Like, I don't know. It was just too much for my psyche.
Well,
now I'm on Twitter is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's what you're competing with. You're going to compete with these 12-year-olds out there, and you don't look a day over 22, though.
Thank you.
Molly Densmore, thank you so much.
Thank you.